You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlyn Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dude.
So that was Charles Barkley talking about the Caitlyn Clark effect, as well as the jealousy that the WNBA players actually had towards Caitlyn Clark when she entered the WNBA. Now, as for the good folks over at Wilson, well, they knew what a lot of us also knew, what apparently the USA basketball team doesn't understand, but they understood that the Caitlyn Clark effect would be a smart thing to get into business with. So Caitlyn Clark officially became the first person since Michael Jordan. It's been 4 decades since Wilson actually handed out an exclusive line of basketballs with a particular player's name on it. Caitlyn Clark's limitless edition of basketballs actually sold out instantly. Now, if you're interested in actually receiving a Caitlyn Clark limitless basketball, I recommend keeping an eye on Wilson's website, because at some point later in the month of August, Wilson will release another batch of her limitless edition basketballs. I'm willing to bet those basketballs will actually sell out instantly.
Do I need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlyn Clark? I mean, which one is it? Which one is it?
Caitlyn Clark's Wilson basketball has been selling rapidly, akin to her swift three-point shots.
I think I'll just be the female version of Steph Curry.
I mean, you hear people talking about you and throwing out those comparisons. Speak about how that makes you feel, about how you've just taken the world by storm because of your shooting prowess.
Yeah, I really feel like I'm still kind of in a dream.
So that was Stephen A. Smith earlier in the year talking with Caitlyn Clark, and it is amazing that the Caitlyn Clark effect has actually had on the game of women's basketball. Now, A'ja Wilson also has a deal with Wilson. Of course, A'ja Wilson's deal is not an exclusive deal in that her name is on the basketball, but it's part of a larger series of basketballs that Wilson offers. Wilson did not give A'ja Wilson an exclusive deal. Now, we don't know if A'ja Wilson is upset that Caitlyn Clark's limitless series of basketballs actually sold out, but hear A'ja Wilson from earlier in the year.
Caitlyn Clark, I'm sure you saw, just became the all-time scoring leader in women's college basketball. I'm curious, where would you rank her amongst all-time college players in Europe?
That's tough because you got to win one. I feel like that college is one of those spaces where you got to win one for them to even have your name in the conversation. And it took me 3 years to win mine, so it's hard. But congratulations to her. I know my teammate KP was just like, yeah, that's huge. That's a lot of points, and that don't take that for granted. They were getting them up 100%. So congratulations to her. But I think she got to win her one to really kind of have her name in that. But I mean, she's always going to be a great player for Iowa.
So that was A'ja Wilson talking about Caitlyn Clark when she broke the college basketball record for most points. I should also point out that she ended up breaking her teammates Kelsey Plum's record, who is also on the Las Vegas Aces. In terms of A'ja Wilson, she has been absolutely fantastic for the WNBA. And I sincerely doubt that A'ja Wilson is actually upset that Caitlyn Clark's basketball line actually sold out as fast as it did. Now, she might be questioning why she didn't get her own line of basketballs. But when you actually look at the effect A'ja Wilson has actually had on the WNBA, which has been great, it is nowhere near the earth-shattering numbers that Caitlyn Clark and the Caitlyn Clark effect has actually put up to this point. It is absolutely amazing, the numbers, from the all-star voting numbers to the attendance at games to her basketball selling out as fast as it did.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlyn Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dude.
Ultimately, when you think about what the Caitlyn Clark effect has done for the game of women's basketball, it's sort of like comparing the Beatles actually coming to America for the first time. The numbers are just so dramatic that the Caitlyn Clark effect cannot be ignored, unless, of course, you are an executive over at USA Basketball, who for some strange, bizarre reason decided to completely ignore the Caitlyn Clark effect. Now, early at the Olympics, they were certainly affected by the Caitlyn Clark effect, by their team actually selling out the least amount of tickets for women's basketball games. And it was pretty dramatic, the statement that a lot of people in Paris actually made about wanting to actually see Caitlyn Clark there versus wanting to see the team that the USA actually put on the court. Now, that's not to say that the team the USA Basketball organization put out won't win the gold, and certainly deserves the credit that they should be getting. But ultimately, to ignore the Caitlyn Clark effect is to actually ignore a bunch of money, a bunch of branding, and, if you will, the opportunity to ride the wave of women's basketball forward. It was a short-sighted move by the USA Basketball organization to not include Caitlyn Clark on the team. As for Caitlyn Clark's Wilson basketballs, I'm willing to bet that when the next series of basketballs are dropped on Wilson's website, they will also sell out instantly.
You've been listening to the Underrated Podcast with Dave Dava, presented by underrated.media.